Hi guys,
welcome back to Girls and
guys,
Gossip Podcast hosted by yours truly, Aoife.
and Josh.
Let's get it started. I thought today we would talk all things current, and we can't talk about that and not talk about Louis Theroux's documentary Manosphere. I watched it and I literally felt sick afterwards. Like what they were saying in it, I literally had to keep pausing and having a little mental health break because I thought there's no way that men think that that's okay. I'm not being funny, but if a man treated me like that, I'd probably box him in his face.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. I actually didn't know that this documentary was going to be a thing because I don't follow whatever his name is, HS Tiki Toki, whatever his fucking stupid name is. I don't follow him, so I know that he'd been like vlogging it, but I saw clips on TikTok. That's how I knew of the documentary.
Yeah, same.
So I was like, listen.
I was just buzzing when it was on Netflix and not on like Prime.
Yes, I mean, awkward that no one has.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, okay, I'm going to go and watch this because I know that, like, Louis Theroux, we spoke about this before, Theroux.
Yeah.
Right, got it. I know that Louis Theroux is quite a vocal interviewer. Like, if he thinks you're in the wrong, he's going to say something.
100%.
So I thought, right, this is going to be good because I know that if one of those boys, and yeah, I'm saying boys, not men, boys, like are talking, I feel like he's going to give his opinion. So I thought, right, there's going to be some drama along the way. I knew that it was going to be controversial what they were saying. I didn't think it would go to that extent. I reckon surely like you can relate because I'm not in that realm of social media. Like I know of HS Tiki, I know of Ed Matthews. I don't know the American pricks, but like I didn't know it was that bad. I didn't know that their opinion on women, men, as in gay men, like was that bad. Like I thought it was kind of rage baiting. Girl.
I'm so concerned that there are men out there whose perception of how you should treat women is that.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think I've ever met someone who has those kind of views on women.
Yeah.
It's very misogynistic and very, sexist for a start. A lot of them, like I know that Justin Whaler, which was the ginger one, says it all.
Oh yeah.
He was very much like said about the fact like he wants his woman to be in the kitchen, like looking after the kids, all this, that, and the other. And it started off that he didn't want his wife and kids in it. And then all of a sudden he changed his opinion. He was happy to have them in it. And he literally spoke about the fact that, when he's like, he can have an open marriage, but she can't. And I thought, sorry, how does that work? I'm like, so you can go off and sleep with whoever you want and then just come back to your wife and kids and she's fine with that. No way is she fine with that. She's just, I honestly think they've brainwashed some of these women. Like obviously then you had Myron Gaines with his girlfriend Angie.
Yeah.
Look how that turned out. And it was very much because he obviously has a podcast and he brought loads of like female influencers, some of them who are models, some of them are social influencers and whatnot. And he was literally like picking them apart to the point that they're saying like about they were fat, they were ugly. And like Louis Theroux actually stepped in. And then he went elsewhere to go and speak to the woman who like arranges for these women to be on the podcast. And he started talking to her. And you can see that they flip back to like where Myron's doing the podcast. And he's getting like really agitated because he doesn't know where Louis Theroux's gone. And then when he finds out that he's talking to this girl about how they get the women and whatever, she then gets like a text message from him to say, stop talking, do not say anymore. And I'm just you just know that it's just not good news, anything to do with them.
Yeah. I honestly, the way that they were talking, like you said, I've never met a man with those opinions, but I think it's so dangerous because I was in two minds when watching it. Like, should they be showing this? Because essentially you're giving clout to the people that they clearly want it. Like, that's what they want. They're making a living off of that. But at the same time, I think it isn't what the hell happened to my voice then. But yeah, thank you, Beyonce. But see, all done. But like, I genuinely am in two minds because on the one side, it's giving them clout, but then on another side, it is also giving clout and publicity. But little boys watch these people, like they're gonna come across them. And I think it's so dangerous. I think it's awful. And I think that like we as a society need to like step in and ban these people having platforms. Like, how difficult would it be for like TikTok to ban these accounts? Ban them. Then make another one. Ban them.
Well, there was that other guy, and for the life of me, in the documentary, I can't remember what his name was. It was like Icy or something like that. And he was the one that was in New York, and he never does interviews with people, but he did with Louis, and all of his platforms were banned because of the way he spoke on
Yeah.
on people and whatnot. But then he, shocker, they're all big supporters of Trump, and then there was something about the fact that he basically got like a pardon and they let him have his things back. And his first video back was like him like outside of like the public office or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, you just know
Yeah.
where they get their ideals from.
Yeah. I just don't understand why we don't, as a platform, stop it. Like, if you write hate comments, they go unfiltered or you get banned. Do you know what I mean? And it's like, any like normal person in society, like I can almost guarantee if we were to make a TikTok right now that was so hateful, either the video would get taken down, you'd get warnings, or the account would just be wiped completely. So why is it not with these men? And that was my thought throughout the whole of it.
Yeah.
And I think that obviously the documentary realistically like came for both of us, a woman and a guy. Like, it come for both of us. Like, when HS Tiki Toki was like, if I had a gay son, I'd disown him. Like, no ways my son. He was talking to the camera and he was like, who are you talking to? Like, this is an
I thought that's how we did things. No, you just.
Yeah, this isn't social media now. Not I was creasing. I love Louis Theroux. I think he's so funny. Like,
and he's so like straight faced about the way he says things. Like, he's so like blunt. It's quite funny.
I love it. I think he's so funny. And like when he was like, yeah, but like being gay is normal now. Like, what is that? And then the clip where he was like, I'm not homophobic. I've got a gay mate. Do you know what he's giving? You know that TikTok I was like, if you're homeless, just buy a house.
Yeah.
He was giving that. I was like, what? Like,
it's like you've literally contradicted yourself so
everywhere.
What you've just said, and I'm not being funny. It's on camera.
Yeah. I'm not being funny. That would be like me sitting down and being like, oh, well, I can't be sexist because I listen to a woman.
Yeah.
Like, what? Like, how are you even? Like, I just think, like, to have those views, and like, I looked at his mom when his mom was on there, who really looked like Vanessa Feltz. Did you not think that?
Yeah.
Well, I thought it was her.
I
thought it was Vanessa Feltz at first, but didn't know that.
You know what made me laugh though? Was
I know what you're going to say.
Mommy, no.
Mommy, I don't want to choose spot.
And it's the fact he has such like a sexist view on women. Yeah, if his mom told him to jump, he would say, "How are you?" And I'm thinking,
grow up.
You can't. That's two different bits where it just doesn't.
Yeah.
But you know what concerns me is the fact that like his mom condones his behaviour, and I'm sitting there like, your son is literally in America because he is wanted in the UK. Like,
yeah.
Are you not concerned?
Yeah.
I'd be. My mom would be definitely concerned.
Yeah. Well, when she was stood there and she was like, he's not sexist, he's not homophobic. Like, your son has just said all of this stuff about women. He's just said all this stuff about gay people. Like, how can you actually be happy about that? Like, and then the way that, listen, I'm not condoning the girl. I'm not condoning it. But when he was like, oh, I think it's disgusting. If my daughter was like Bonnie Blue, I'd like disown her again. And it's like, what else are you doing? Because it cut to the next clip of him literally showing Louis a video of him getting head on the toilet or something.
Yeah.
He was like, oh, do you want to see it? Like,
and Louis was like, what? Have you actually just got that?
Yeah. He was like, does she consent to this? He was like, yeah, okay, her word against his. I doubt she's given him consent. But like,
he's
honestly.
It makes me feel sick.
But like, one thing that I think is, to all the girls that know who these men are, like, listen, unfortunately, if he was to walk past me in the street, I'd know who he was. Like, do you know what I mean? Why are you getting with him? Why on God's given earth?
I
like,
think they like for clout. Like,
yeah,
it's like
but
that girl that was with him in the
he was just
documentary.
sat there like,
She was just loving life, and I thought,
girl,
he's speaking
have
down
some
on you
respect
in
for
front of
yeah,
everybody.
have some respect for yourself and other women. Like, if every woman just didn't sleep with him, literally dissociated themselves from him, then it gives him the humbling experience that he well and truly fucking deserves.
I'm not being funny. If he walked past me in the street, I'd just pretend I didn't know him, just to give him a bit of an
Yeah.
so he doesn't have an ego boost.
I feel like,
Bit of rage bait.
yeah,
I love nothing more than rage baiting
Yeah.
men. It's probably my favourite hobby.
yeah,
And the fact that if I was put in a room with all of these men, they'd be left speechless by the time I was done.
they should.
And I'm not being funny. For the girls out there who are dealing with that, I just don't even know how. I can't. And then it was like when that guy, that was in New York, who I can't remember his name.
Irrelevant.
He had loads of like young lads come up to him and say about the fact that he's changed their lives.
You're my role model.
And I thought, sorry, how has he changed your life?
Yeah, do you know what as well? Like, not that I was trying to understand where they were coming from, but I was really trying to like get a gist why they think like this, because I think it's so interesting psychologically to look into why they think like this. Do you know what I mean? Like, their opinions are disgusting, but it
All
is
their dads ran
interesting.
away. I'm sure that's what people found out. All of them.
And it was like,
had no male figure.
What was it? It was that ginger prick again that was like, we're not being sexist towards women. We're just basically making a stand that like you should own yourself as a man. And I'm like, have you woke up in 1940s? Like, what are you on,
It was
mate?
that
Like,
whole thing of like, well, no, I love women. I'm like, okay, but you wouldn't treat them like a piece of like, shit on your shoe. Do you know
Do you know what? See how much of a man they are. Send them to war. Send them to war.
Oh
No, I don't want to do it, Mummy. I want a juice box instead. Shut up! Like, I'm getting worked up now. But like, send them men. If we go to war, I want all of them on the front line. Yeah, show how much of a man you are now. Like, I honestly,
I'll be in the kitchen.
Yeah. Well, okay, so I'll be with her. I'll be with you, like, gladly. I'll be shaking it up. But I do not care. Like,
Have you seen those videos where it's like the wives who make really shit dinners for their husbands because they've pissed them off? And I'm thinking that would be me. If those men were at the front line of the war, and I had to make their dinner, best believe,
mate,
concoction of what they're getting for dinner shouldn't.
I'm mixing dog food in it.
Oh yeah,
I'm doing.
I'm mixing birds actually.
Leave that to your imagination. But like, I honestly. But do you know what? I will say this. I think that they got the best interviewer to do that kind of documentary. Like, it's turned into a Louis Theroux fan at this rate. But I really like, I say if he'll like interview like one of my favourite celebrities or music artists, I would tend to go and watch it.
Yeah.
Because I like the way that he comes across.
And I think he's quite like calm.
Yeah.
And you know, he doesn't get like really agitated. He's very like, okay, like, was there a need for that?
Yeah.
Like, he's very mature, and you can see that. But obviously he's known for doing his like controversial documentaries. But I do feel like there is an element where people need to see the other side of things, and that's what he's doing. And he's like, I'm all for that, because I feel like this whole scenario, the like ideology that these men have, is concerning.
That is a big word. I love that. Ideology.
Oh yeah.
But like, smart girl. But I think as well, what I liked about him, it kind of felt like he was pushing and pushing them to try and like act like he was on their side to get the worst out of them. Because I think like even these disgusting boys, right? Like, I think even at times they won't share the worst of their opinions because they know it's going on Netflix. They know that it's like, at the end of the day, they've still got to like a career after it. They've still got to like make social media. And I think that him pushing them and acting essentially like he was compassionate towards them, and then as soon as they gave that opinion, like chopping it, like when he turned out and he was like, I don't, you know, the bald American guy with the girlfriend, he was like, oh, can you clean it up in here, please? That bit. And he was like, I don't think she's on board. I don't think she's on board. Like, I think he really pushed them to the mat.
You know what I thought was really, really interesting? When he did the kind of interviews with those men's partners, and you can see in the woman's face that they're not
Oh,
assured, and
1,000,000%.
they're sitting there thinking, okay, if that's what you think, like,
Yeah.
and obviously, I have never been so happy for someone as I was for Angie when they did it at the end of the documentary where they were like, she left him 6 months ago. I thought,
Fuck it. Everyone else
play,
take
queen.
notes. Like, I 1,000,000% agree. So, moral of the story with that documentary is men are trash.
Yeah, and you
Nothing
know what? Louis
changes.
Theroux has proved it, but not Louis Theroux because he is a man.
Oh, he's an exception.
He's
There
not,
are a few.
He's not a plural of the men. He's
Yeah.
a man.
Yeah. Granted, there are exceptions, and he's part of it.
Yeah. Maybe you could count on one hand the exceptions.
Exactly. And unfortunately, I don't think I'm one of them. But do you know what? Not with those opinions. Not with those opinions. No, I'm part of the 5. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. In honour of, you know, controversial topics right now, because it's all over my For You page and all over the news that I'm seeing, I think we need to talk about Chappell Roan and what went down, because listen, Chappell Roan, gay pop star, of course I'm going to like her. Do you know what I mean, right?
Pony Club.
Chloe Williams. That's not
Exactly,
Chappell's song, that's Chloe's.
Another iconic.
Yeah. But, so basically, it's got a very long story short. What happened was she was threatened to be taken out of a popular festival in South America. I think it's called Lollapalooza. I probably butchered that. I think it was that one. Because I know Sabrina also did it. She slayed. Yeah. Anyway, they threatened to pull her from it, and she was meant to be headliner, I think, right? Because basically what happened was she was in a hotel, and this footballer, Jorginho, whatever, his stepdaughter, who, by the way, everyone's like, oh, it's Jorginho's like stepdaughter. It's also Jude Law's daughter. Put some respect on Jude Law's name. Anyway, so they were at breakfast at the hotel. Chappell was eating. The little girl walked past to get food. As she walked past, she noticed it was Chappell, and she smiled at her. She didn't approach her for a photo. She didn't do anything. She just smiled at her. And apparently, a security guard went over to the table with the little girl. I think this little girl's like literally 7 or 8. I was going to say 6 or 7 because I knew what was coming. But I think she's like 7 or 8. 6, 7. But
now who's doing it?
I'm joined in, but you converted me. But like, apparently they really threatened them and were like, do not come over, do not do this, do not do that. So this basically meant that Jorginho put an Instagram story up. And then Chappell then did a follow-up story and was like, listen, that weren't even my security guard that went over. It was a randomer. Okay. Listen, I don't hate kids. I don't hate people. Like, I didn't even know this happened.
Yeah.
I'm going to be completely honest about this. And I know that me and like some of my friends have had debates, and I mean debates about this. I love Chappell. I love her music. I think that her attitude fucking stinks. I think, honestly, and I know that you're definitely going to disagree. I feel like we're going to disagree. I like the backlash to paparazzi. Paparazzi. I love that because the way they treated Amy, the way they treated Britney, the way they treated every single woman, especially in the early 2000s, karma's come to get its steps with them.
Hounding.
Disgusting. When it verges on you're treating fans like crap, that is when I've got a massive issue, because it takes 5 seconds. It's nothing to her, but it's everything to that fan. That could make that fan's week. And this is the thing with Chappell. Chappell is a gay artist writing about gay stories, raising, essentially like helping a new generation of queer people, specifically like women, to be confident in their sexuality. And you could make their week, you could make their month, you could even make their year by signing an autograph, taking a photo, just acknowledging their existence, especially when they've probably stood outside in the freezing cold for hours upon end for that 2-minute interaction with you. And you've essentially just disowned them.
Yeah.
And it's disgusting. I don't know if you've seen that TikTok. She was outside. She went to Paris Fashion Week, a well-known publicised event, right? And went to a restaurant, a well-known publicised restaurant.
Yeah.
And she's like, video going, this is what I have to deal with, guys. You're a fucking celebrity, love. Deal with it. Like, I'm sorry. paparazzi, I'm on board with, treat them like shit. Like last year when those TikToks were like, you shut the fuck up. Like,
Yeah.
and she really, and like, did you see that TikTok? Like Sabrina at the Grammy, she was like, you're all so quiet this year. Like Sabrina really whipped you into shape. On board with that. Fans, grim. I don't like that. Like,
See, I 100% agree. Because realistically, you've got to think about it. Without your fans, you wouldn't be where you are today. So realistically, you should be grateful to every single one of your fans, because you would not be as much of a celebrity as you are now
Yeah.
unless you had those fans. Because what is a celebrity without fans?
Thank you.
Not a celebrity. And equally, if you go into a career where you end up being famous, like we will be, you have to take on board what everything that's going to come along with that. You want to be a celebrity, this is what comes with it. It's not like it's a hidden thing and people don't know that that's the case. Everybody knows if you become famous, you have to deal with so many other things, and that's where it is really unfair to treat your fans like shit and not do, because again, like you said, they could have been there however long waiting, not taking much time out of your day, but for them that could mean everything. Do you know what I mean? Especially with the type of music artist that she is and what she's promoting, a lot of her fan base that's going to appeal to, and that's where, you know, that interaction could help someone that, you know, needs that kind of help.
Little closet warrior.
Yeah. And that's where, you know, you've got to take the time and appreciate, you know, you wouldn't be where you are without these fans. So
yeah, I think it's really difficult because obviously we're not in this situation yet. But like this whole like, yeah, but like she's an artist, she didn't do it to become famous, she did it for the art. Yeah, that is correct. Like, listen, I listen to Chappell, I love Chappell's music, right? And it is a piece of art, I'm gonna say it. Like, the rise and fall of a Midwest princess is incredible, right? However, you know, when you make music, there's a chance that you are going to be famous. You know that, and I understand that it feels like Chappell just come out of nowhere and was like one of the biggest artists in the like modern day out of nowhere. I get that, and it is overwhelming. I can imagine, but you you can't have it all. Like, if you're gonna make music, you know that there's a slim chance that you are gonna be huge. It's the proof of the job. What would you rather work 60 hours a week, love? Would you rather work 60 hours a week? Because your life is so hard signing autographs. My heart honestly bleeds for you. And it's like, another thing that I think is so important is, if you want to be a private person as a celebrity, you really can. Beyonce, no one knows where she is from 1 minute to the next. Thank you, Beyonce. But like, I don't know if it was AI, I don't know if it's true or not, but apparently Zendaya and Tom Holland got married. No one knew about it.
Yeah, like, I keep seeing those and I'm like,
I don't know if it's AI or not, because it's not on their Instagram yet, and I trust that more. But like, even something as weird as, I don't know Zendaya's last name. Do you know Zendaya's last name? I don't think anyone does.
Holland.
Well, Holland now. Like, if you...
No, I don't know.
Cut the case, look. But like, if you well and truly want to be a private celebrity, there are ways of doing it. So it's like, you've gone to Paris fucking Fashion Week. Like, you've gone to a restaurant which everyone knows is publicised, to the point where I've seen to that, even though I recognise that restaurant, because I've seen like Taylor, I've seen all of these people. Like, the biggest music artist in the world nowadays, let's be real, is Taylor Swift, right? No one's bigger than Taylor, right? I don't know where that bitch was from 1 minute to the next. I don't know where she is. I don't know where she lives. Like, wow. I wish. It's giving stalk, I'm not. But please don't put me on, I still want to listen to music. But like, if you well and truly want to be private, you can be. You're going to the Grammys, you're going to the MTVs, you're going to Paris Fashion Week. You can't be private there. Like, do you know what I mean?
Not
and
when
I
there is like paparazzi.
Exactly.
Everywhere.
And I just think it's honestly ridiculous. And I understand that people are sticking up for her. But for me, paparazzi, do whatever you want. They talk to you like crap when you're on that red carpet. You talk to them back. You have every right, especially because it's always the men that she's clocking. Love that. But when it's fans, I don't agree with it. I really don't. And if I'm honest, it's kind of put me off her. Has it put me off listening? No. Because the music's great and she's not done anything that's worth justified me not listening to her music. But I do think she needs to be humbled massively.
I feel like that's the hardest thing when, you have a music artist who ends up being in controversy, because it's really hard to like disassociate the music from the artist. And then like that's where it's just like you love them. It's like me with Chris Brown. I don't
I was
agree with
just about to bring
I
that
don't
up.
agree with, what he's done, but I love his music. So it's really hard to kind of like someone but not like them at the same time. I find that really hard, because then it's like, as much as I want to hate the music because of what the artist has done, I'm like, I just can't.
Yeah,
because
that's how I feel about Nicki.
Yeah,
Nicki's
you know
the
what?
sound.
That's
and
really
the thing
broke
is,
my heart. That has.
I know we've gone slightly off board here, but whatever. I will not feel guilty. I will be at Nicki Minaj's next tour, me and the other 10 people. But like,
tickets would be cheap.
Yeah, stunning. Better than what I was paying last time. I'll deck him. Hold me back. But like, I will go to that, because if people can willingly go and see Chris Brown, side eye, I will go and not feel guilty about Nicki Minaj. At least she's not an abuser, but
just friends with one.
Yeah, but she didn't do it. So anyway, slightly off topic, but I do think that like with that whole like Chappell and celebrity, I just think like we need to start humbling celebrities. And the thing is, right, I've been in that situation. I met one of my absolute idols at the time, and I didn't have a good interaction. And it honestly, I'm going as far as saying distraught me, but it really fucking upset me. And it stuck with me, I want to say, for a solid 6 months after. It really stuck with me. And I feel so bad to the fans that have had a negative interaction with Chappell, because that's how I felt. And I don't listen to that music artist's music anymore. I don't. But like, it's not right. Salt of the earth. She was an absolute queen. I love her. I don't listen to that person's music anymore because it really put me off them, and also turned shit. That's on karma, bitch. But like, I was such a hypocrite because I did go see it live in November. But not the point. But like, I I've been in that situation where I've had a negative interaction with someone that I've idolized, and I feel so bad for the fans. And I think the way that she's acting, Loki like defeats the purpose and the point of the music that she's putting out there into the world. Like, you can't cheer for gay rights and all of this, and you see a young queer fan and go, "Oh my god, my life is just so hard." My heart fucking bleeds to you when there's people doing 60 hours a week, love. Like, be a nurse, and then come back and talk to me about it. Like, God forbid that you have to sign a fucking autograph. Honestly, love. Like, I just think your attitude stinks. Like, yeah, I'm getting worked up, but I think that because could be it's giving autism again. But like,
I think we both have autism,
haven't we, Alice? But like, I think it could be like that, but like, I am a fangirl through and through. You know this. Like, I live my life through music and like standing these people and idolizing everything. And I think that because I feel like I can sympathize.
Yeah.
Yeah. Empathy. I can empathize with the people and sympathize with being the fangirl and having that interaction. Because my mentality is, if I saw Chappell Roan in the street, I don't give a fuck what her mentality is. I'm going up and asking for a photo. I'm scared I'll get decked in the face. But I'm going up and asking for a photo because there might be the off chance
she's having a good day.
Yeah. Because I think I'm in that situation now. If I was to see her in the street, I know I'm probably going to get fucking catcalled or heckled at, or like had a shit interaction. So I might as well risk it for a chocolate biscuit. Do you know what I mean? But
spice it up.
Yeah, I think we need to, this is the time we need to start humbling celebrities more. You're a dick, stop listening to them. Chris Brown, sorry. Stop it. Maybe it's old stuff, but I know the old stuff. But yeah, I think as well, in honour of what's current in the news, we need to talk about this meningitis. Because you know the story, I'm going to tell. So, what's that TikTok? It's like, people avoiding meningitis, we're avoiding men in general.
Yes, because they're trash.
Nothing changes here. Right. I have the weirdest story about this. And did you want to get onto that first in the story, or the story first and then it?
I think we'll talk about meningitis first.
And then build into it. Lovely.
Bit of a debrief.
Yeah, you've got to wait.
So obviously, there was the outbreak in Kent, and it all happened in a club.
Shock.
And I know that they're trying to work out how it's spread. And I'm thinking it was probably one, man slag or something who's gone around kissing the whole club. That's my theory on how it's
Wouldn't
spread.
shock me.
Because I think it's really it's like COVID. Like, you wouldn't have, if you had a load of people in the club, unless they're like having close interaction, how is it passing around, and how is it passed around to that many people? I'm more concerned about the fact that these students have thought, right, fabulous, got meningitis, I'm going to go home, back to my hometown. And they've all then displayed all across the UK. And I'm thinking that's probably the worst thing you could have done, because you're then spreading it to other
100%.
cities. And there was one girl who came back to Birmingham. I thought, she
Go away.
best come nowhere near me,
Yeah.
because I don't want meningitis. Aidan had it a few years ago. Luckily, his was just like the viral one. But he was literally in hospital, and at the time they had no beds, and he was literally in it was like a storage cupboard size room on like a chair. That they didn't have a bed. He was on like a chair.
Oh, bless him.
And he was in there for days.
I honestly, they should just put Kent in the whole lockdown.
They should have.
Honestly, it's definitely. Do you know what? It's definitely a man. We all know that it's a man. We know it's a man. But speaking of thinking of what's caused it, right? So this happened to me last week. So long story short, I always say that and then it's like 15 minutes long. But
gotta give the detail.
There. So me and my friend Molly went to go and see Renee Rapp in concert in Manchester last Wednesday. Shout out Renee Rapp. Queer icon. We love it. Anyway, we parked the car, right by the arena. No red of light. We park the car, we turn out of the road, we turn right, the arena was there. We're walking because we get there early, it was boiling, we wanted to get a few drinks, do a bit of shopping before, because we could have just dropped it off at the car and then gone to right around the corner from the arena. We literally been money for 2 minutes, right? We're walking along the road, and all of a sudden, this woman stops us. She's with a man with a camera. I thought, right, stun, I'm living the life I was always meant to live.
They heard about the podcast.
Yeah. So she comes over and she was like, hey, I can see that you're relatively young. Can I just ask what you think caused the meningitis outbreak? I looked at this woman clean in the face and thought, love, you know as much as me. I was like,
sorry.
Right. She went, can I ask, do you think it's to do with vaping? I thought, right, where's the correlation there, my love? Don't have a clue. She went, oh, well, it could be that people are spreading vapes around the club. I thought, who spreads their vape around the club? It started my first thought. She asks all these questions about vaping, how long do people do it? Now, to have a bit of context into this, I used to vape. I haven't vaped in a while now. I cut it off because, yeah, but...
You didn't want meningitis.
Yeah, I manifested it, right? Not in a good way. Me and Molly were then asking questions because also me and Molly used to vape, but we haven't done it in a while, right? So we were asking questions like what got started on and all of this. Fun fact, I started because Prism in Birmingham were giving away free vapes.
Awesome.
I thought, I love a bargain, mate. I'll take anything. Yeah. I thought, mate, I'd have a Dixie chicken if it was free, to be fair. I'd have a Dixie rat if it was free. I'm not going to lie. So we were answering the questions, all of this. Then they open up this bag. This bag, no word of light, must have 20 different vapes in it. Different vapes, different flavours. They must have just picked them up off the floor. Yeah. So he was like, oh, can we take a photo? Bear in mind, this was on the main road. This was right outside the arena. So you've got hundreds of fans, the ones that are weirdos that fucking camp or queue for 10 hours. You've got them there. You've got this is the main road. Bearing in mind, you know Manny, don't you? You know the Arndale?
Yeah.
This on the road outside the Arndale. It's like the equivalent of the Bull Ring. Jesus Christ, this was central fucking Manchester. We are right there. He was like, oh, can I just ask, could you get a few photos? I thought, stun. I'm living my Britney Spears life now. Get the photo, get all the angles.
Paparazzi.
Might pull a Chappell and start beating him. So then he went, oh yeah, oh, by the way, could you just get some of the vape? So he hands me a vape, right? I haven't had a vape in a long time. So on there, he was like, oh yeah, could you just get some? So on there, yeah, doing off of a dusty floor,
Had
right?
anything on it.
Like some meningitis on it, right? So then,
Oh,
I've had to say, Jesus Christ. So then, he was like, oh, could you hold it there? Just closer, like this. All of this. He was like, could you hold it like this?
photo shoot.
I've got a photo shoot with a bloody Lost Mary out there in the wild. He then got Molly to do one separate. Then, oh my God, it's so embarrassing. He then goes, oh, could the lovely couple get a photo? Me and Molly looked at him, bearing in mind, as a bit of context, I might let you put a little photo of my outfit. I'm wearing jeans, a pink Renee Rapp t-shirt, who is a lesbian, right? And bright blue sunglasses. I look like the trans flag. How on earth? With a voice like this and a Renee Rapp t-shirt, you thought, he likes women, he does.
Well,
The woman on my t-shirt, mate.
You give off that aura.
No, I mean,
It was.
I'm just that bloody masculine, mate. I'm such a stud. Honestly, you'd think that about me. We're changing this to girl studs and gossip now. New name of the band! So, like, he then was like, Molly, can you get your, like, face in... Okay, this, I'm going to demonstrate to anyone watching. This is Molly's face with Diet Coke. And he was like, can you get closer? Me and Molly, so I was like, Molly, I can hear you breathing on me. Me and Molly, in the 13 years of, like, being best mates, I've never been this close to the girl. And she was like, Josh, I feel uncomfortable. I was like, me too, bitch.
Me too, girl.
We are like this, right? With these vapes. I thought the reason why we did it is because we thought, right, very boring but relevant to the story. This was Renee Rapp's biggest ever headline show. So we thought it was a fan video. So that's why we stopped. Because we thought, oh, he saw the t-shirt, Renee's going to see it. We're going to be like on her Instagram, her YouTube, like it's a fan video. You know, like when we saw Camila Cabello and they were filming?
Yeah.
Didn't film us though, did they? Right? Missed opportunity. So then, and we did DIY t-shirts as well.
Yeah, and that was the start of the podcast.
That's where it was born. Thank you, Camila. So then, like, we're out here, like, thinking, oh my God, it's a fan video, we're doing it. If I knew, they would have stopped us to get a photo shoot with a lost fucking Mary.
But you forgot who it was that was asking you. You didn't say who they worked for.
Oh, yeah, the Sun on Sunday. The Sun on Sunday. So she went, this is going to be in the news. We're going to include... So she said to us, she went, we're not going to include in your information, because she had pages of notes, by the way, right?
She was
but,
fast lawyer.
Yeah. She was like, but we might not include your photo. I thought, you better fucking not include the photo. I never want to see these photos because I look so uncomfortable, so awkward, right? Where's this article, love? Because I looked on Sunday.
And I did.
Didn't see it. Heavily disappointed, actually. But I'm a bit concerned because I said to Molly, if they're not going to publish the photos, where the fuck are these photos?
They just keep it. Maybe they don't work for the Sun.
Yeah, imagine so weird.
They just wanted it for their own good.
Yeah. Do you know what? They saw that we were on Girls, Guys and Gossip and thought, I want to
one day that'll be worth a lot.
Well, I'm not being funny. If we
That'll
ever
be
get
our
famous,
first
that's my cancelled photo. I'm fuming. Great. I'm already cancelled before it's even begun. At least I might get band deals with Lost Mary, though. I low-key do want to see them. Yeah. Be their brand rep.
Yeah.
But I honestly can't believe that we were in Manny for 2 minutes. I thought, great, this is just what I want. So, yeah, basically, anyone comes across a photo of me with a Lost Mary,
Please send
I'd just
it to
like
us.
to stress,
Please send it to
I
me.
don't smoke Lost Marys. I do not smoke vapes. But I thought...
if someone sees it...
anything for a bit of publicity.
Send
Do you know what I mean? But, yeah, bit of a comment in the news and a bit of a weird story. But you know what? I wouldn't expect anything less. Weird shit always happens, don't it?
We've always got a story to tell you, I've noticed
and this is why we do a pod. So it's come to that point of the episode, Song of the Year, right? My song of the episode, in honour to talk about Renee Rapp, I'm going to do Mad by Renee Rapp because these men make me mad. Period.
And on that theme, I'm going to go with Man-Eater by Nelly Furtado because I feel like we should just hate men.
Exactly.
It's my favourite thing to do.
Yeah.
So, oh my God.
Beyonce again.
Thank you, Beyonce.
Thank you, Beyonce.
So, life might be serious, life might be confusing, but at least we have a podcast teaching everybody that men are trash.
Like it.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.